Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We're going to be talking about Clone Commander Cody, Waxer, and Boyle for Star Wars Legion today. It was basically talking about the big leaks out of San Diego Comic-Con that happened not too long ago. I talked briefly about these in a live stream right after my computer blew up. And, of course, thanks to so many of you. We are back in business, and I thought it was time to kind of sit down and do like more of a proper video showing you guys some of the images. Big thanks to Chris Martin, by the way, for sending me out these images from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sure you've seen most of what we're going to see here, but I still wanted to do a more of a formal video for people who may have missed the live stream from last month. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit, and it's because there's some cool stuff here, and I know GAR players, if you're playing Republic, if you're playing Clones and Jedi, you've probably been thinking for a while, like, dude, we really could use some stuff. And like, hey, Ahsoka's coming, and that's great, but she's coming out for Rebels first, and Ventress is coming, and she's going to be, of course, Separatist. She's kind of like Clone Wars, the movie version of Asajj Ventress, and then we're getting like all this other stuff for Rebels. We're getting Din Djarin, and we're getting Moff Gideon and Dark Troopers and stuff for the Empire. And so, like, what is GAR getting? GAR has got the 501st, and which is arguably maybe the worst battle force that's out there. So a lot of folks are who play GAR are feeling like the faction's really underpowered right now and really needs some help. And one of the cool things is this is one way that you're going to get some of it. And we got a little preview. Well, I wanted to talk about these in a little bit more detail. If you guys, a little admin note real quick. Before we get into some of the additional screenshots and things that kind of came out of this awesome little presentation that we've got. A little admin note, we are still doing that lightsaber giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. And also, don't forget to head over to Luxury Playstyle. Amazing Full Metal tokens. Today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. They make tokens for Legion. They make tokens for X-Wing. A bunch of other games. Head over to luxuryplaystyle.com. Use this code. You're going to save 15%. You don't want to miss it. Also, people that use this code, if you order $35 or more, you're going to get a free Crabbok Lightsaber Nunchuck token. It is amazing. And in Legion, it's really, really cool because it helps your damage counters. It's got the big C with the lightsaber nunchucks in blue on the front. You flip it over, it's got the red lightsaber nunchucks. It's got the 5 on the back. So now you can really help keep track of higher health wounds with only a single token. So really cool stuff. Head over to luxuryplaystyle.com. You're going to love these tokens. I use them in all of my games. They're the bee's knees. That's a little bit of a corny term. They're fantastic, though. You're going to love them. All right, so we got some concept art here of Commander Cody, and I kind of like what they're doing. You know, we sometimes joke about the tactical rocks and things that like AMG tends to do. Like they try to get their characters in these very dynamic poses, so not everybody's just standing with 2 feet on the ground. This is very common in like Marvel Crisis Protocol, but in Legion, a lot of times you have like these troops, and like you get like a whole pack of a whole bunch of dudes kind of standing there, and some of them can be just kind of standing normal. So not everybody is on something. Some people do have their feet on the ground, but it looks like Cody is going to have a B1 battle droid. They want to get him in a running pose, and there are some characters in a running pose, but sometimes that character who's in a running pose and they've just got the 1 foot on the base, that can be kind of a weaker character. So it looks like he's going to have a B1 battle droid kind of sculpted into there. And it's kind of cool here when you look at like a graphic like this. It kind of shows you some of the stuff that they probably have to go through when designing these and submitting these for all approval. Kind of have a rough sketch of how they wanted it. I imagine this might be something that gets like submitted to maybe to Lucasfilm to like say, hey, this is what we want to do, and then they can redline this and be like, hey, you know what? No, the yellow should be here, not here, or so on and so forth. You get your phase 1, your phase 2 helm, which is really cool. You're getting all of that groovy stuff in there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So it's nice to get a little bit of a look at some of that. We got a good close-up of the 3 minis. We've got Cody in the middle, and we got Waxer and Boyle on the sides. Waxer and Boyle, you may recognize them from the Ryloth arc, and with Cham Syndulla and all of that stuff. It's pretty cool. They kind of work to help save that little girl Numa, which she kind of helped them through the little Ryloth girl, the little Twi'lek, and of course, Cody. Cody was very prominent in the Clone Wars, and of course, in Episode 3, is one who he was Obi-Wan's number 2 guy, and eventually tried to kill Obi-Wan. It's kind of cool though, because they show a little bit of the art here, and you do see Numa in the artwork as well. So I thought that's really clever. I like that she's kind of featured on the artwork. It's kind of cool though. Little side note about Numa, because she did end up going on to show up again in Star Wars Rebels. Where she's working for Cham Syndulla when he's an older man. So they did good by saving her, because she did continue to grow up to defend Ryloth and be one of Cham Syndulla's freedom fighters. So maybe we'll see Numa in game at some point. It would be pretty cool if Numa was in game. I think that's something we could see. I think Ryloth could be maybe a battle force at some point. All right, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And of course, we got a look at their cards, and so the cards are kind of interesting, because they gave us actually a unit card for Commander Cody. It looks like Waxer and Boyle may only be coming as personnel options. Of course, we don't know this for sure. We don't know that this is the only thing that we're going to get for these guys, but it certainly looks this way. It also kind of looks like this is going to be one pack. It looks like this is going to be kind of like a 3 miniature expansion. So a little bit more. Now, we don't know this for sure. This is my speculation, because they're showcasing it this way. So it seems like these all come together. But it doesn't really mean that. Waxer and Boyle could come in their own packs, but it's weird to have just a personnel upgrade if that's all that they are. If they're only a personnel upgrade, it's weird to have only 2 miniatures in one pack, because usually the personnel upgrade packs tend to have 4. So you could split the difference here by having a commander with 2 personnel upgrades. You'd be getting a lot more than you typically get in just a commander pack. A lot of commanders are just 1 miniature. So you're going to get Commander Cody. You're probably going to get some command cards. You're also going to potentially get Waxer and Boyle in that same pack, which is pretty cool. Now, they may not come this way. Waxer and Boyle might have their own, operative cards or something like that. It's possible that something like that could end up happening. Who knows? And of course, there could be upgrades in this pack as well. And maybe even Waxer and Boyle might have some kind of command card that somehow works with them. I don't think so, but all of these things are possible. There's a lot more that they didn't show us. And of course, I could speculate until the cows come home. But first, let's talk a little bit about the stuff that we see here in first. So I want to talk about Waxer and Boyle. Boyle is slightly cut off in the image, but by most accounts, he was also 15 points. So we're looking at 2 personnel that are 15 points. Now, they can go into any clone trooper unit that is core. So currently, that just means phase 1 and phase 2 clones. And that's kind of an interesting discussion to have, because while they're only 2 points more expensive than a regular trooper, if you wanted to put them in a phase 2, they're 5 points more expensive than a regular trooper if you want to put them in a phase 1. So it's like, well, maybe it makes more sense to put them in a phase 2 because I can gain some cool stuff. And maybe, but then again, the phase 2 unit's a little better. So maybe it depends on really what you're looking to get. Now, Waxer is pretty interesting because he's got Scout 1, Disciplined, and Leader. Now, Boyle also has Scout 1 and Leader. They both have Scout 1 and Leader. They're both personnel, so you can't put them in the same unit, at least based on what we see here. There may be alternate versions, and maybe there is a way to put them both in the same unit, but that's not what we're seeing here. But Boyle is going to give Guardian to the unit, which is cool. So you can, I'm not sure exactly what the number of Guardian, how much you can Guardian, but basically being able to Guardian and Protect is kind of cool. But, when I look at both of these, I think Boyle is probably better in a phase 1 unit, because if you're going to be Guardianing, you still got red defense dice on either one. Maybe he's better in a phase 2 because at least you have the 1 surge. Right, so like let me know where you guys see Boyle and where you see Waxer. Like, they better for phase 1s or better for phase 2s? Like Boyle, like if you're using it with the idea of like, hey, I just want these guys to die, then phase 1s is kind of the cheaper option. Maybe then again, maybe we're gonna get new core clone troopers at some point. Also, that's certainly a possibility. Whereas Waxer, Waxer's I think maybe the better option here. Guardian's always a decent option to have. I don't usually like to use it, don't usually like to, because also if you're running these guys, then you're not running medics, because medics are also the personnel slot, right? So it becomes a little tricky. It becomes a little tricky. You have some interesting balancing. Although the cool thing about running these guys is they don't take up your heavy slot. So I like Waxer a little bit more because Scout 1 is really nice. Now Scout 1 is not going to work as well with Rex generally because Rex has scouting party. But hey, you know what? That's fine because these guys are launching with Cody, so it gives you kind of like an alternate kind of way to run clones that Rex didn't give. And now you're like, hey, let's try to kind of make up for the fact that things are going to go a little differently. I always like Scout 1. Of course, if you want to put Recon on them, then they can run Scout 2. Always fun, right? Being able to go out a full 2-speed move at the beginning. That's really great for objectives. It's really great for some of the conditions, too. Like if you're doing supply drop. I love supply drop. How cool is it to have your unit be able to do a whole 2-speed move after they drop? Or if you do Recon and advanced positions, all of a sudden now Waxer drops and has Scout 3. It is possible. So like that could be really, really fun. So I think Waxer is the more fun of the two, and Boyle is the more serious and like, oh goodness, Guardian's a nice ability when you need it, but boy, I hate having to like lose core for maybe no reason. Right? And I say maybe no reason, but hey, maybe Boyle is going to be Boyle can scout also, right? I haven't really talked about what makes me like Waxer more, but let me talk about why I'm not as crazy about Boyle, because I'm spending more to make a unit a little bit better. But I feel like if I'm guardianing them, I'm going to put them in phase 1s and just hope that like the investment pays off and I keep my commander alive. Like if I want to run with Anakin, or if I want to run with Kenobi, I really want to keep Kenobi alive. I do kind of expect some cards to come into this pack that make Kenobi a little bit better. But I don't think you'd be able to Guardian Kenobi, right? Because Kenobi also has the he has Guardian also. So like, are you even going to be able? You're going to even be able to do that. So like it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. He doesn't. I guess he doesn't have Guardian built into him, right? Or no, he has Guardian 3 built into him. Yeah. So you wouldn't be able. You can't Guardian somebody who has Guardian. So Boyle's not even going to work with Kenobi. It's just like trying to figure out where exactly I want him to be optimal. Like maybe protecting Yoda, or maybe future Jedi. Maybe Ahsoka when she comes out. That might be a good one. Or maybe we will see little Ryloth kid, or I don't know, maybe little Twi'leks running around and he can Guardian them. So I like Waxer better, especially in a phase 2 unit, because of Disciplined 1. I guess it would work all right in a phase 1 unit, but Disciplined 1 you get the issued that order, you get to remove suppression. Look, clones are expensive units. They hate being suppressed. They hate losing actions. So I think Waxer's just better. And I feel like he's going to work really good in a phase 2 unit that wants to be aggressive, that is running the risk of potentially losing, because if you got that courage too, well, you're going to be shot a little more. Maybe you have you get the surge that you can spend for defense. Maybe you're going to stay alive again when you got red defense dice and you have the potential for surge for defense. That might mean you get shot a lot and don't die. So you're going to have those tokens creeping up. So he's a leader though, and he doesn't increase your courage value. So like that's why I'm thinking Waxer is probably better for a phase 2. But at the same time, both of these guys work pretty well in just a cheap phase 1 unit. Like maybe Waxer also has great potential in just an empty phase 1 unit. He's going to be the +1 mini and the leader. He's going to give them scout. They can get to an objective a little faster. Disciplined means, hey, you know what? Oh, I'm not going to be able to take that moisture evaporator because I'm suppressed. No problem. Let me issue them an order. Boom. Now they're safe. Because they were because of Disciplined 1. That's definitely the possibility. I think when we see more stuff from this expansion, though, it's going to frame these guys a little differently. Either way, they don't seem overly powerful. They seem like they're just nice little options, but maybe I won't always take them. It does kind of depend on what else we see in this pack. But then Cody, Clone Commander Cody, this dude looks awesome. Looks really, really good for the Republic, even before we see any command cards. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. First off, part of it is hidden, right? Part is hidden. I get that. A lot of stuff we can assume. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Cody probably has a grenade slot. Since just about every clone, I think, has a grenade. There could be something else under that equipment, but at least command, training, and equipment. Presumably grenade also in there, and maybe another one, like maybe an extra equipment or maybe comm or something like that. But I think that's, they think we're gonna have those 4. I think it'll be command, training, equipment, and grenade. First off, observe 2 as a free action. I love it. First off, observe is up to range 3. You're putting 2 tokens out there. They stay out there all round. So Clone Commander Cody kind of wants to go early, right? So he might not have comm. He certainly may not. Like, wouldn't that be interesting? I think he might even be I think he might be a candidate for Seize the Initiative, right? Like, depending on how his command cards look, there's gonna be times where you don't play one of Cody's cards. But you still want him going first. Maybe he doesn't have the ability to issue himself an order all the time. I'm not sure, but he's somebody who's gonna want to go early. He's got jump 1, so he's positionable. That's cool. He gets that auto include. You don't have to give him the jump rockets, which frees up an equipment slot. So even if he doesn't have the 2 equipment, it's no problem. He's got take cover 1, so he's handing out dodges. Also good. That's gonna make me think he pairs well with somebody like Obi-Wan. He's got direct vehicle. That's kind of a throwback to his appearance in Episode 3, where he has the artillery fire on Obi-Wan. That's always going to be a fun one. If you want to put a tank in with Cody, that's going to be awesome. So I like that. And he's got target 1 on top of that. This dude is pretty nice. So he's going to have the aim option. Targets what when you get issued an order, you get an aim token, right? So I really like him. When I first talked about him, I didn't notice, because the image that has some of the minis in front, that he's got boom, boom, boom. He's got a white die in here too. So his primary gun is 4 dice. It's range 1 to 4. Well, presumably 1 to 4. We can't see the 1, but no, I don't. Usually people people with guns can fire at range 1, unless it's some kind of vehicle. Sometimes vehicles don't have the range 1 stuff, but most people with a rifle can shoot 1 to X, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or 1 to 4, something like that. His melee attack is okay. He has surge to crit, which is excellent in the clones. Right? You're gonna be handing out orders. You can want to do a fire support. You can direct a vehicle. The vehicle can potentially get free aims if you want to put, if you want to put comm upgrades on the vehicle. Hey, you're going to get an order every turn, right? If you're staying close, Cody can kind of hang out in the back. Your tank can kind of hang out in the back, still be very effective at long range. I love the idea of Cody with a tank. I also like the idea of Cody with a Jedi. So I don't know if you do both, but I think the fact that he's kind of versatile in that way is really good. Observe 2 kind of really helps the whole clone thing, since clones have had so many nerfs, right? Clones used to be able to share all green tokens, unlimited, which included standbys, which was crazy. So first, clones got standby sharing removed. Next, clones got, you can only borrow 1 green token per combat, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa. Like, that really hurts, and it hurts because a lot of times you would want all those surges. Everybody had all those surge tokens building up, and you're like, I'm going to borrow all of these from these dudes and get my aims and aim. Now, you can still do that with Exemplar. Exemplar still has the unlimited sharing, but as far as just doing a clone to clone share, you can only do 1 token per opportunity now. So Observe 2 kind of helps alleviate that. It takes the pressure off of, hey, I don't really need to borrow that aim right now, because I've got Observe tokens that I can spend to reroll 1 die each, and I can do them 1 at a time, so it helps you make better decisions. I really like Observe 2 on him, and the fact that it's a free action is really good. I mean, sometimes it's a good enough action to use as its own action. The few units that do hand out Observe tokens, I like them. They're not the best, but I like them. The fact that he's doing it for free, chef's kiss. Love it. But I like his weapon, range 1 to 4. It's very good. It's gonna be good for fire support. So I love that. He's got 2 red, a black, and a white. Lethal 1, impact, looks like impact 1. So it's going to even be a little bit of, it's just very well-rounded. He's already got Surge to Crit on there. He's got Lethal 1. He's got Impact 1. You give him an order, he's going to have an aim token. That means he can have Pierce on it also. Strong shooter. Strong shooter. Only 5 health, 2 courage. Yeah, he looks fantastic. I think he's going to be really good. I don't even know what his command cards are going to be. Definitely don't know. Definitely don't know. I imagine there'll be some kind of artillery fire. I think some kind of like Veers 1-pip kind of shot, maybe. Maybe something that gives him synergy with Obi-Wan. A lot of people are not super thrilled with how good Obi-Wan is right now. So this could be a possible opportunity to, to maybe buff him a little bit. I still think Obi-Wan's great, but Yoda kind of stole the show for a lot of people, and people who are running Gar still like to do tanks and Padme sometimes, and things like that. So I think Cody's going to be pretty cool. Can't wait to find out more. So I just want to talk about everything. Let me know some of your thoughts and your hot takes on Cody, on Waxer and Boyle, and this whole thing, because I do think it's all going to be one pack. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and it's not the last thing that Gar is going to get to help them out. We do know they're also going to be getting Ahsoka as well. Pretty cool stuff. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. And we'll be following up with more Legion news as it comes out. And stay tuned. And may the Force be with you. And always wash your socks. And goodbye there.